Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to adjust the length of magnetic track. So we're going to cut a section of magnetic track and show you how to join it. So this here, we've got a 3000 millimeter section and a 2000, and we need to make a 3.85 meter section, so 3850 mil. So we're going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to also show you how to install magnetic track. The process is quite similar to standard 240, but there's a couple more steps that you should know about, which will make it even easier. So let's get into it. All right, so just to take you through the magnetic track, inside the track, we have these magnetic sections here. At the end of each magnetic track, you'll have this little 50 millimeter section, right? Now, when you push on that, you can actually pull out some of the magnetic track. So this is your circuit here, right? So at the end of each section, you'll have that little piece that you can pull out to get started, right? And at the opposite end of your magnetic track, you're going to have your feed point. So this here is your feed for your 24 volt and also your feed for your Dali. In this case, we're using Dali magnetic track. If your magnetic track isn't Dali, then you'll just have your low voltage feed. Magnetic track to date, just FYI, has predominantly been 48 volt. However, this has really restricted magnetic track from going mainstream because it means that you can only use 1 to 10 volt dimming. So we've introduced 24 volt magnetic track, which opens up pretty much all the applications. So you can expect to see magnetic track being used a lot more now. So we're not going to cut this end because we want to save it. We're joining on to this 3000 millimeter section, which also has a feed point. So the first thing we're going to do is take off our end caps. We've just got a small size Allen key. All right, so we take our end cap off, put that aside, and now I'm going to get my magnetic section out. What we also want to do is remove this magnet here. That way we can slide these out, because we're going to slide them and basically cut our track without the magnetic inserts to size, and then we're going to slide in our new magnetic inserts. It's going to make it easier to slide out the magnetic sections. And then just going to slide this out. Now, each of these magnetic lengths, they are joined with little pins, okay? So if I slide this, see that? Take this section out, and take the next section out. All right, so we need to cut this to 860 mil. Now, you don't cut the magnetic track with the magnetic inserts all at once. Cut them separately. The reason why is because you want your magnetic circuits to not sit flush with your end cap, because you want your copper strips to not be touching your metal end caps. So you cut these separately, and we'll make these slightly shorter. All right, 860 to this. Let's just set this up a bit better. So that's our first step done. We've cut our frame. Now I'm going to take the end cap off the section that we're joining onto. And then we flip this over. Nice and careful. And we're going to use our black coated finish, our uncut. We're going to use our uncut side to join onto the track to make sure it's going to be as flush as possible. And these tracks come with a metal insert, right? So this is what we use to hold the join in place. So all we're going to do now is remove that magnetic piece. Forgot about that. Bring that over again carefully. So we only want our actual magnet, this, to be at the very end of your track. So then you can get your little 50 millimeter section out in order to move the tracks around inside, in order to move your magnetic inserts for installing. So that's the only spot we actually need that. So I've removed that. And then I'm just going to flip this over again, carefully. All right. And then just going to insert here to there, and same here. Right, and then tighten. This isn't very level. Anyway. So I'm just going to center this, and this is how the installer joins the custom lengths together. Right, so they're not going to arrive as one continuous 3.86 meter length. All right, we're just going to slide our magnetic tracks back into place. Just going to slide that in like so, all the way, and you want your magnetic insert to cover your join, right, like this. And then that's just going to go into your next piece. The back of your magnetic inserts, you've got your little terminals, and you are supplied with some extra pin joiners. All right, so this is what you use for joining the circuit between two lengths of custom cut magnetic track. All right, so I'm going to insert that into here, through here, down the end, straight into our next track. There we are. So that's how they need to look on the back. So what we can't forget is to put our magnetic insert in so we can remove it and move the tracks along. So I'm just going to put this back into place at the beginning of the track section. It's basically at the opposite end to where it was originally because we cut that end. So I'm just adding this back in place like that. And then I'm putting in our magnetic strip. Make sure that there's no copper dust or anything like that. And I'm just going to click this back into place, like so. Pencil, or pen, sorry, along like that. Cut section back into place. Clip on. All right, so we've got an end cap. So we've just pushed in our 22 volt cable into the wire terminals here, and then we'll turn it on, and we've got our working track. And then we'll test again on our new section that we've added here. And that is how you customize length of magnetic track.